Some of this stuff looks looks a lot more promising. I am still hella concerned about way too many storylines, too many characters to give too much of a focus on. But Ty, I would be lying if I didn't say that this gave me a little bit more hope that the actual show or the movie is going to have a little bit more promise. What you think?
100%. As soon as I saw that the trailer for it, it piqued my interest. And you know how when we first heard about this, how I was like, nobody asked for this. You know what I mean? And I recall my statements very well. I was like, nah, nobody cares. Nobody, you know what I mean? But after seeing this trailer, I am intrigued. And I think it will. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to be a masterpiece or it's going to be great, but I think it may, because of how bad the original was, it may give this, this property a chance to grow in other ways. So it may be a series that comes out of this, because of what you just now said, with it being so many storylines and everything like that. So, but again, it looks intriguing. It looks a little intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, Bree, I'm not sure how big of a Street Fighter fan you are or how familiar you are with it, but I mean, does this trailer make you interested in this movie at all? Just curious.
It does. I feel like they're rolling it out in a smart way, because the thing about this, like you asked how much of a Street Fighter fan am I? I'm like, have I played it before? Yes. Would I call myself a huge Street Fighter fan? No, not necessarily. But really, they don't really care about fans specifically. They care about getting butts in seats and triggering enough nostalgia for it to be satisfying for everyone. And they're hitting the notes that I feel like non-fans would need to want to go see it. So I can't speak from like a fan perspective, but they got enough big names. They got enough like nostalgia notes in there that are reminiscent of what your Street Fighter experience might have been if you're an OG fan or like some semblance of a fan. And it's campy enough. Like, I'm glad they didn't go like overly trying to make everything look realistic. They're keeping these like little campy elements that look exactly like the game, and as long as they maintain like that balance, I think it'll be entertaining enough to do well. And then like what you said, like if there's too many story points, they might make it like a springboard or a jumping off point for something else, or like a revamp of a new version of the game or something like that. So if they do it right, I'm excited about it.
Were you about to say something?
No. I mean, I couldn't add on to that. I mean, she put it way better than I could have.
I subscribe to everything she just said. I am still just nervous because of the history of Street Fighter. Like, unlike Mortal Kombat, it feels like Street Fighter didn't really I don't know, evolve. We saw in the original Mortal Kombat had part 1, and then all right, cool. Then the next one they switched up rate, and then they released like a whole new one where they're like, okay, we get it. They gave us a new storyline. Scorpion was the hero instead of Sub-Zero. It was him against his brother. You know what I'm saying? They understood like the assignment was to not necessarily focus on everybody, but focus on one with some side elements. I'm just hoping that that's what they're smart enough to do in this element, and I guess we'll just have to see. I'm also wondering, Ty, this one's for you specifically. I think you're actually the one that dropped this. It looks like there's some hope, no confirmation, but there may be some hope that we may be seeing your boy Cavill back in a cape